Hey Internet, hey YouTube, this is Maggot Milk, also Nathan, also Nate, but please, never call me Nathaniel. We're doing another Monster Train run. I think we'll start with the daily challenge. I looked at it a little bit earlier. It's Stygian plus Melting Remnant with the mutators, extra capacity on each floor, 5 dead weights, so these 5 unplayable blights, and then acid rain. So we've seen acid rain before. Basically, it means that at the end of every combat round, all units will take 2 damage. So without knowing too much about the run, I would assume we want actually quite a large deck because we want to be able to play a lot of units using all the capacity that we have available. As well, the more cards we have in the deck, the better we're able to manage having so many blights, so they don't affect us quite as much if we can have a large deck. All right, so let's see what we start with. We have Ice Tornado, so can be quite strong if you're able to either reduce the cost or get a lot of Ember generation. Then we have Purifying Cleanse. It's good for maintaining some of those burnout units and getting some healing. And then Guardian's Amulet. This pairs best when you have those discard mechanics so that you can get it out for free, reduce the damage that your units are being dealt. Okay, so we already looked at the mutators. Let's get into it. I normally like to start with the artifact. What do we have? Apply spell weakness 2 to enemies when they enter the pyre or the room below the pyre room. I feel like that's quite strong paired with our ice tornadoes. So without any other spell weakness, that would be a ×3 multiplier. So each ice tornado hit would do 60 damage by itself. So if the boss is by himself, it's 180 damage. Early on, that's a lot of damage for a single boss. Alternatively, we can apply Frozen to a random card in our hand. Could be useful to keep one card that we might want to save later for a specific turn. But I feel like with the being random, it's going to be hard to consistently get the card that we want saved until later. So let's go with the spell weakness. Hopefully we can even increase the damage of these ice tornadoes, because even again, any additional magic damage will then be multiplied by the spell weakness that they get on the top floor. And the 2 different options are damage spells cost 1 less. I really like this for the top floor, much more than Frostbite. If we can stack a lot of magic damage plus the Tethys on the top floor, then we can just wait for units to get to the top floor and then blow them out with a huge amount of spells. All right, let's see how it goes. First trial is units enter with armor 10. On Slay, gain damage shield. The harder enemy to deal with is going to be this foot soldier, who normally we could take out with a single spell, although we don't have any direct damage spells, so maybe it's not so different. We use Ice Tornado, and does Ice Tornado take out both of them? 1 tick of Ice Tornado takes out a foot soldier, but we would need a full 3 ticks to take out one of the Apprentices of Light, assuming they doesn't have the damage shield. I think that's still okay. We should just be cautious with how we play our dregs and train stewards. So we'll definitely start with the Tethys on the top floor as a way to clean up enemies with hopefully large AoE spells. And to start, I'm thinking Train Steward, Dreg, and then Purifying Cleanse on the Dreg. Something like this. Keep him around a little bit longer. Do some damage early on. I had forgotten about the extra 2 damage after each combat. We can get this for free. We can put him up front. He still won't get a slay trigger. And then the question is, what do we think is more critical? Actually, we can't play the Ice Tornado and a Train Steward. What do we have left in the deck? I think we go with Ice Tornado on this floor to hopefully get this guy. So he'll take 2, put him to 3. He'll take 2, put him to 1. I think he's not a risk for us. These guys are the real issue. I'm hoping that we get at least... Yeah, at least we get a Frozen Lance. We can use a second one. We can put a Dreg behind. And a Train Steward in front. Like that. And then we take out all of the units. This guy will die. Now, do we try to get some damage on him? What do we have left? We have one more Train Steward. We have the Ice Tornadoes. We have a Purifying Cleanse, Guardian's Amulet. I think unless we are really lucky and just get the Ice Tornado on both turns, it's probably unlikely that we're able to do a lot of damage here. It's worth trying something like that and hopefully getting at least some damage. Okay, one Ice Tornado will help out a lot. Okay, if I cleanse him, I get another 9 damage on the boss. So, I mean, if we get an Ice Tornado, we got an Ice Tornado. Okay. So we're able to take out the first boss without taking any pyre damage, which was, I'll be honest, a little bit surprising, but we still managed. Ice Storm is also very strong if we can increase the magic damage. We don't yet have any discards to take advantage of the offerings. Do we want a third Ice Storm? Let me look at the map. Let me see where all of the Merchants of Magic are. We're definitely going to want to take the unit here. The more units, the better. We're going to try to take every card we can that's going to add value just to mitigate the effect of all of the blights in our deck. I didn't even check. Seraph the Temperate. So he'll sap our units. So the goal would be tanky units and units that Tanky units and units that have incant and apply spell weakness are the priority. Ice Storm is pretty bad early on, and it doesn't go well if we play it on the top floor because it will remove all the spell weakness. But it, you know what? The case could be that we use this in case we get any of those fully stacked floors with the rage units. So I think it's worth trying. Molded, we really need. I really like the molten encasement, but we really need molded. Ideally we can get holdover on it. Revenge, Frostbite. Out of these three, we can use the Titan Sentry as a tank. And the advantage of the Frostbite is it kind of works like spikes over time. If we have him on the bottom floor, that means basically 6 damage. If they take the additional 2 damage, we can hit up to 12 damage on any unit that attacks it on the first floor. Alternatively, we can get a Lady of the Reformed, which I've found to be very strong as a tank. Yeah, I think we're going to get the Lady of the Reformed. This is where I think... Yeah, this choice could impact quite significantly. Getting an extra unit makes a lot of sense because we can take advantage of the extra capacity. But if we manage to get holdover onto molded, that's a guaranteed unit basically every turn. We get so much advantage from upgrading almost all of our spells. The only buff that really doesn't help us is removing consume and getting permafrost. But every other bonus is a big help for us. I still think I think we need to get the unit. Spell weakness, that's one of the things we wanted. We can put it on either the second or the first floor, and then those spell weakness will combine so that at the end they have 3 spell weakness. And if we can get multi-strike on it, even better. Endless. What would be a good endless unit? Endless drags? Doesn't really make sense. An endless Silophyte, or yeah, Silophyte. The biggest problem is that she'll die to most hits. Maybe we try to make it work. Yeah, let's try it. If we can get multi-strike on her, then that would be really valuable. And then we're not so concerned if she's dying every turn. Or, yeah, we won't care that she's dying naturally from things like spikes and so on. Okay, and then upgrading, I think getting our Lady of the Reformed with more health makes a lot of sense. And then, do we want to purge as Trained Steward? I don't think so. I think we can add 10 extra damage to the Lady of Reformed. I think we just got to take advantage of everything we can and not leave anything on the table. Okay, that's fine. Spikes is fine because we can still apply spell weakness, and then we get it back to apply more spell weakness. And it sweeps. Yeah, they're all gonna die naturally. We can put her on the second floor. Let's save the Tethys until the boss. We can put a drag. And purifying cleanse her so that she lasts longer. I mean, might as well. We can put a train steward in front to block some of the damage. Molded. Drag. Sure. Purifying cleanse. Put out another drag. One, two. We can take out one of them. Oh, we can't put the Silliphite out, at least not on that floor. Oh, but he's dead. Okay. Then we're good. Excellent. So we're already flawless so far in terms of damage. We haven't taken any pyre damage is what I mean. Getting the offering to remove dead weights to trade dead weight for another better card, or even better to get the Guardian's amulet, I think makes a lot of sense. The alternative would be something like Titan's Tooth or Crypt Builder, but I don't think that these are consistent enough, and Frostbite, I don't think Frostbite is what we want. I think instead we'd rather have more consistency with the deck we already have. Remove all debuff effects and from friendly units and all buff effects from enemy units. Or molded, a second molded. Our units are dying surprisingly little. Remove all debuffs. That would get rid of burnout. But the problem is then you reform them and they have burnout again. I think having the second molded is going to benefit us the most. All right, I definitely think we want to modify spells and get another unit. A second Lady of the House is fine for me. Getting Rage 2 on every friendly unit. No, I think we get Lady of the House. These are not the spells that we wanted. Permafrost. Plus 20 and consume on Ice Storm. That's very, very appealing. It's basically a better Ice Tornado, but it consumes. -1 cost to our molded. And we'll re-roll. Double stack on sap 6. Double burnout. I think we minus the other molded. And we can add an additional 10 to one of our ice tornadoes. Do we want to purge anything? I still don't think so. We can always play units. That's the thing. Let's see what we get from the cavern. Do we want a Hellhorned, a Melting Remnant, or an Umbra consumable? So we can take a look into the logbook. And we're looking for consume. Let's start with Hellhorned. Orn's Tome, we couldn't play. We don't need armor. We don't need rage. So basically these three are dead cards. Armor would be fine. Imp in a box is whatever. Impish Scholar, we can't get Impish Scholar. So it's going to be one of these 7. And none of them are particularly great for us. Let's check out Umbra. Forever Consumed would be really strong. Kindle, Primal Dust, Shroud Spike would be basically worthless. Ember Cache would be really good. Packed Morsels, maybe. Space Prism we don't need. We already have tons of capacity. Engine Upgrade could be good. Furnace Tap. The only issue with Furnace Tap is the Ember Drain, and our units are dying pretty often. And so we have basically here 1, 2, 3. 4, 5, 6, and then last Melting Remnant. Waxen Spike is useful even at 0 mana. Hallowed Drippings can be useful. Memories of the Melted is pretty useful. Sacred Wicks is pretty useful. Sacrificial Resurrection. Consume cards in hand and add a draft unit to your hand. Enhance with +10 for each card consumed. Interesting. Remnant Pack, apply Endless. Let's go with the Melting Remnant consume. Yeah, great. Just add more burnout onto our burnout units. They survive a little bit longer. Yeah, that's fine. And we continue with Daedalus. So far have had a perfect run. Okay, we have the damage shield explosives. Getting Lady of the Reformed will do a lot of damage. I think we still save Tethys again. 6 turns, I think that's fine. So then let's do some extra damage. These guys are both gonna die, and then we only need a little bit of damage on this front unit and he'll die. Do you have a slay trigger? You have an incant trigger. Nothing has died. I see Silophyte or Silophyte. Kilophyte. And we don't have anything to mold. Do we get a Train Steward just to get extra damage? We definitely aren't going to play anything here. Let's get the Train Steward. We can increase her burnout by 3, increase her burnout by 2. So we just need to do 10 damage, well, really 8 damage to the top unit. Okay, we got a second Lady of the House. We can just Frozen Lance. So let's get Lady of the House. We still don't have a molded unit. We Frozen Lance. And where do we put this Train Steward? Let's put him here. behind the other lady of the house. And we started stacking spell weakness onto the boss. Alternatively, we just do a ton of damage to the boss. Getting out a drag on this floor would make a lot of sense. Also a drag on this floor. Yeah, let's keep this for later. This will already basically take out that floor for us. How much damage does this guy need? 1 frozen lance. And this is what I was talking about of basically negating the effect of a dead weight to get another dead weight. Let's put some more damage. Do we use a train steward or a drag? Let's get a drag behind and put a train steward up top. Molded. Get a second lady of the house. Put it in the front. Add burnout 2. Add health and burnout. And this guy's gonna die on the second floor. Yeah, this is working out really well. Any kind of spell we do on him now will kill him. And we get the Coelophyte again, but we don't need it. Cool. So this is going rather well. We're already on to the 4th battle with taking no pyre damage. Harnessed? No. Ice and pyre. Ice and pyre with permafrost. Yeah. Yeah. Titan Sentry. Wickless Baron. Let's go Wickless Baron. Do we need... I don't think we need extra capacity. I think we want extra draw. We need to get through our deck faster. I mean, we didn't even get back to our Tethys. This is the big problem, is that the Tethys doesn't survive. I'm hoping that we get more health on it. Do we want to duplicate something? What would we duplicate? I'd ideally want to duplicate where we already have this the spell buffed. I mean, what would be really cool is if we could get Tethys on the top floor, Ice and Pyre with holdover, and we just play it every turn for free. Let's check this side out. Stygian Banner. Incant on the top floor with the Tethys. And what do we have for upgrades? A large stone. Honestly, a large stone on the icy Coelophyte makes basically it's not going to die. And it sweeps, and it applies spell weakness. Yeah, I think that's pretty strong. Upgrading our Siren of the Sea, and then giving it an armor incant makes a lot of sense. And that's where we'll sit. Let's see what upgrade we can get for our champion. Yeah, we definitely want the spell weakness and sweep, and we want the extra health. Do we want damage? No, we don't. This is fine. What to get rid of? 2 train stewards. 2 dregs. Guardian's Amulet. I just don't think we'll ever play it. One trained steward. Okay. At the start of battle, enemy units appear on each floor. I mean, they die. They all die. Yeah. Not a lot of risk there. I think we just go ahead and let them die. Interesting. Interesting. The biggest problem is that our Tethys won't survive long enough to take advantage. We could do Siren of the Sea. Train Steward behind it. Ice Storm. Yeah. There goes that trial. Icy Silophyte. We can Frozen Lance to increase the health, armor, and damage. Put a drag behind it. Boom. Let's get a Lady of the House in front. Which one? Lady of the Reformed. Put the Lady of the House on top. Do we want to increase... Now this is an interesting idea. Giving burnout to our Siren of the Sea, and then increasing the burnout so it survives, all just to get its health and damage, or health and burnout. Because we actually don't mind if the Lady of the Reform dies, because then we can reform it. But something like this, healing it back up and increasing the burnout. Let's get a drag out here. I think this is good. And we haven't really had to rely on spells to take out any of the enemies. We offering to get rid of the dead weight. We can put out another drag. He's gonna die. Heal plus extra burnout. And now the question is, do we want to just take out with an ice tornado? Or we can put down a train steward, get it out of the deck, and do something like that. Because we end up, yeah, I mean, I'm really not too worried about these guys. I'm mostly worried about surviving the boss. Okay, so we're getting now into the boss. So let's restore and add burnout. Mold one drag. Now let's just check. Yeah, we're fine. That's not going to kill it. It will do 25. It dies anyway. Okay, so it's not going to change anything. So then let's reform a second drag behind. We can put a train steward here. We don't even need to Frozen Lance. Let's just do it here to increase the with the increment triggers. So we do need to find a way to take this guy out. How's the boss? Okay, we have... There's one. I think we do it like this. It's very, very important that we don't Let's see, that guy's going to do 12 damage. That increases it quite a lot, and he dies, so it's still going to go to the second floor. I think we'll be able to kill him on the second floor. He's going to have 7, 8 spell weakness. Ice Storm should kill him. Yeah, okay. So other than never playing our champion, we're actually doing pretty well. Mollusk Mage, the problem is he dies the moment you play him. Is it still worth it to play him? That's the question. Let me look at, again, the map. I think we're going to go this side. So we could end up putting some health on our Mollusk Mage, keeping it around. That might be okay. Trigger units. Okay, we don't have any extinguish abilities. Remove all burnout and debuff effects from a unit. Could be good. Deal 25 damage and apply dazed 2 to an already damaged unit. I mean, I really like it. We are just struggling to be able to play out such high cost spells along with the units that we need. Who would we remove burnout from? We gotta try it. When is the next Merchant of Steel? Concealed Caverns, Merchant of Magic. We're all the way down here and here. This is just consistent. And if we have any debuffs, yeah, we get the sap. We can debuff, or we can remove the sap debuff from any units. Okay, that's fine. Waxer units gain endless. Interesting. Let's do it. Yeah, let's do that. Upgrade another unit with endless. Give a unit burnout plus bonus stats. Upgrade. Mollusk Mage with endless is a 7 damage spell that increases the damage of all other spells. I don't know if that's good or bad. I don't think that's good. I mean, it kind of sounds good, but I actually don't think it's good. So I don't think we're going to do that. I think better is we wait out. Maybe we can get some extra health. What about on the Wickless Baron? No. Adding 10 damage to Lady of the House or to the Baron. Let's add it to the Baron. And reroll. Quick. See, now this is where I see Silophyte, Kilophyte would be great with quick. But we can do it on this Lady of the House. I think that's fine. Alternatively, we give it even more burnout, keeping it alive longer. Put this on our Wickless Baron. And we can put this on a Dreg that we later upgrade with something like Multi-Strike. Then it's almost like I can't remember what they're called. I think they're called drafts. Not quite as strong, but kind of similar. Spikes is fine. The stealth is less fine, but I think still manageable because they die before they get to the second floor. Something like that. Okay, for science, we gotta... I can't remember if the Tethys can be molded or not. So let's try it, see what happens. Cool. Oh, that's convenient. Let's put this guy behind. And Siren of the Sea on top just to get the trigger. Throw the Mollusk Mage out. Now we have something to reform. Wickless Baron. Dreg. Does this guy have sweep? Why are these guys dying? Oh, they have spikes. That makes sense. And harvest. Great. Okay. Well, let's put the train steward there to counteract some of that. And ideally, yeah, we can just dump that. Ideally, we can play a spell on the top floor next turn to kill him. The nice thing is these guys all die. Mm-hmm. Another Lady of the Reformed. And I think Ice Tornado just to kill this thing. Or that's not going to do enough damage. 12, 10, 22. Actually, it would. It would do enough damage. But we can just play all of it, so we might as well. Do that, and put out 2 dregs. Mm-hmm. We can put out another drag. Put out a train steward. Use Pyrebound. Put out another train steward. Alright, how are we doing here? Purifying Cleanse gives us quite a bit more damage. She's going to get a lot of triggers on this guy. Do we have any other debuffs? Don't think so. Let's use this. Oh, we can get back Tethys. That's great. And I think we put Tethys on this floor. Stack 2 more dregs. Put this dreg up top. We can remove this from one of our dregs. Ice Storm 21 times 5 times 4. Yep. And we can increase this gentleman and put a Lady of the Reformed on the top floor. Play this just to incant. Okay. So we didn't get him early, but we did get him perfect. Great. Great. That gives us, for sure, the energy we need. Frenzied Swarm. Yeah, I'm really liking how this is going so far. He's a waxer. Guaranteed draw every turn. Do we need it? Another resin removal. Remove all debuff effects from friendly units and all buff effects. We have no other extinguished triggers. It's between these two. And honestly, resin removal for the sap and getting rid of the burnout as we get closer to fighting the Seraph, I think will be very valuable. I think we're going to upgrade units again. This is what we needed on the Mollusk Mage. And plus 10 damage on it. Let's see what else we get. Yeah, we want multi-strike on this guy. And what else is on him? He is quick. So it's basically 18 damage quickly. I think now it's time we can remove the other train stewards, and we're going to remove all 3 of them. They had a good run, but it's time for us to look to the future. Scourge. So the nice thing is, because our units are endless, we're guaranteed to play 2 of them. So the Scourges aren't going to be, I don't think, too big of a challenge for us to get through. Icy Coelophyte, for sure on this first floor. Kills all the units. This guy also sweeps. Getting it behind makes a lot of sense. I mean, what buff does he add? He just adds Scourge cards. Okay. So we can do that. We can do that. The main thing is that these guys are not going to live. And we can start chucking drags onto the 2nd floor, put her on the 3rd floor. Cool. Now what we need is the Wickless Baron. Very good. We can put the Lady of the Reformed on the top, gain some mana. Drop that down. We can add Burnout 2 and heal. Remove all burnout and debuff effects. We actually want these debuff effects to go off. Do we want to do it here? Or up here? Yeah, let's do it there. And Frenzied Swarm. Frenzied Swarm. The nice thing is we get to apply double spell weakness, because I think both these guys, both of them do sweep, applying spell weakness. So we can do Mollusk Mage, doing extra tornado damage. Seems pretty good. Keep more health onto our Lady of the House. Let's toss more drags. The double we can put there to do some more damage on the boss. I think we're in really good shape. I'm very curious how different the decks are turning out. This is the only current point reference we have is 21,000. I think if we can clean house on during this fight, we shouldn't have any real issues. Okay, we want to... Do we have another unit we can play? We want Tethys back. Putting Tethys the back here makes a lot of sense. And then we're actually okay with this as is. We need to get rid of the penance. We can Frozen Lance and then just dump a bunch of damage. Yeah. Yeah. Drop that down there. Get some free buffs. Get some more spell weakness onto the boss. We'll get even more spell weakness. Let's Offering up here first. Get rid of the dead weight. We can Molded Tethys again. Put this guy Hallowed Dripping, and then 2 more burnout units. Still adding more spell weakness. Now, does he get it even if he goes to the top floor? He doesn't. Dang. That's enter room. I guess that makes sense. But we get to do this. Yeah. Yeah. We want to use Ultimate Penance to not take any damage. I think we keep healing her. We can do the molded. We have nothing to mold. And we can just play that to save some damage. Final wave. It would be really great if we could get it to not survive. Dead weight. Where's our Tethys? Oh, we have the multi-strike, and we can daze it to get more out of the well, not out of the multi-strike, but out of the units in general. Yeah, it's for sure going to die on the next floor. We can do 13 dazed. Yeah. So we're good. We're going to perfect this one as well. And this should kill it. ×5, ×3, 300. Yeah. Cool. So far, still perfect on the run. We are now on floor 7. Apply Endless is not needed. We don't need Frost, and this is going to be the first skip. None of these are very helpful for us. Now the question is, do we want... I think we want even more draw because we are able to take advantage of the 2 units and getting Ember back, which means more units and so on. Please hold over. Please hold over. Permafrost. Permafrost is okay on Ice and Pyre as just a way to do a ton of damage to a unit whenever we need it. Alternatively, Ice Storm. I think we want +10 on another one of our Ice Tornadoes. Minus... Yeah, we can always use that at the end of turn. And I think we get Ice and Pyre with... Okay, now please hold over. Hold over! Amazing. Okay, so what's going to be the best one? I think it's the Reformed, that we can constantly reform units and getting them stronger. Any magic power on the other Ice Tornado? And reduce cost on resin removal? Or on Ice Tornado. Get a low cost Ice Tornado, sure. We're nearing the end, so again, try not to leave anything on the table. What would we remove? Frozen Lance? It's good for just a quick spell to get out. But obviously we prefer ice tornadoes. I think we're okay without 2 frozen lances. And what upgrade? Definitely spell weakness 2. And we get more health. We don't need more damage. We're already doing this sweep. Non-boss enemies restore all health. That could be a problem. This guy sweeps. He just has a ton of armor. And he applies Ember Drain. That is a big problem. For 400 coins. $400 means Merchant of Steel, Merchant of Trinkets. That is... This is hard. This is a hard choice. I gotta think how much damage we do in a single turn. The biggest issue is going to be the Ember Drain, but a lot of our units will die naturally, and they're only applying 1. We have extra Ember. No, we don't. We have extra Draw. We have a lot of 0-cost spells. Oh, that might be our undoing, but if we get it, that means beating the Seraph will be much, much easier. 90, 120. Tethys, Lady of the Reformed, Offering, Wickless Baron, Dreg behind it, and this is the, neither one is the Consume Ice Tornado. Okay, that's one. Siren of the Sea. Silophyte. Do we get rid of Ice Storm already? Lady of the House. We play this just to get it out, and let's clear them out. Or at least do a lot of damage. This is where that one frozen lance becomes useless. Okay. We have the Pyre Bound to take it out, so we should be fine. Still have no unit to take advantage of holdover. Let's cleanse. Remove all. We can even Frenzied Storm it. Do that. Put him there. Doesn't really do anything. We can just use this to incant. We keep the Ice and Pyre for this guy. Get another incant and Daze. And we're good. Oh, it discarded our hand. We lost the Ice and Pyre. Oh, hopefully we get some damage spells. We're in trouble. Cleanse. Molded. Molded. We did not get a damage spell. 44 times. We're going to take 32 damage. Dang it. I thought we had it. This guy here will not make a difference. Him here at least will buff the Baron. And do we want to get rid of any burnout effects? Maybe on this one? This one has the revenge trigger. Let's get rid of it here. Dang. And we are not going to have basically any mana. Although we will get 2 dregs, so we should be okay. We don't have any spells. What is happening? Oh my gosh. Getting this guy here makes sense. This is the problem with getting the dregs back, is we can't mold them. Put Mollusk Mage here. We can put 2 dregs. Molded, nothing. And then, yeah. Gosh, dang it. We had it until the end. It was really this challenge. If we hadn't have had this challenge, we would have been just fine. Okay, we can finally molded a unit. It's our Tethys. We want to put it back on the bottom floor. We put a drag out up on top. No, we put it here. We Ice and Pyre. We can add more burnout. Oh, it has burnout 1. That's right. This doesn't matter. We need another ice tornado next turn. Or offering. All right, we can at least get a trigger there. What can we molded? Tethys. 200 damage. And drag, drag, drag. Ice tornado. Resin removal. Does not get rid of burnout. And we're going to get a lot of stacks on this guy. Dang it. Ah, we had perfect all the way up till then. And I got greedy. If we can get Ice and Pyre, we're basically set. We put this guy up top. Remove all burnout from this guy. Molded Tethys. And get Tethys on the top floor. Molded for the trigger. We can Frenzied or Dazed. And we did not get a single spell. Pity. Spell. Dang it. Cleanse. Burnout 2. He's going to die in 1 hit. This gives everybody an extra hit. That gives... I shouldn't have gotten rid of... I don't know. I don't know what would have made that better. I think getting the Endless was a real problem for us. So we're going to end at 23,000. Dang. That's a shame. Just could not get a spell. All right, let's see what we ranked. Yeah. Let's look at the top score. Let's see how close our build came. Resin removal with Emberstone. They went Tethys with Frostbite. And they went with this guy, Heavy Tank and Frostbite. Ice Tornado, and Sap, and Hoarfrost times 3 for 1. Okay. Interesting. All right, well, that'll do it for the daily challenge run. Let's switch over to a Hell Rush.